Hello, my friends. Goofy Bastard here, and you're watching Coffee with HDR. Enjoy the show.
All right, well, we're back. We're up and we're in living color here. So we are going to see if anybody joins us on this stream. But anyway, it looks like we have some people coming in there this morning. And we are running on a new stream. Good morning to Throttle Therapy. Glad you found a new stream there this morning. And looks like we're going to have some people coming in there. You're back. Good morning, Chuck. Good morning again, HDR and everyone there. Man, I tell you what, when you get a computer glitch, I always tell my kids at school, technology is a wonderful thing when it works, right? When it doesn't, it doesn't, and it just extremely just stinks, man. So anyway, so we are back. We're gonna let some folks join us here this morning. Get some people in there. Man, that was a heartbreaker there for sure. Yeah, it happens, right? So anyway, but I don't know if you ever live streamed or not, but this will be great for the support bikers video or training session I'll be doing with Windroad Therapy and Toby Northern because it's going to help a lot with just what can happen. Right, you have to be ready. You have to be ready to reevaluate and move quickly. So that is what I did here this morning. So again, good morning. Well, let's start over here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to another exciting episode of Coffee with HDR. This is show number 115 for Saturday, March the 25th, 2023, and we're talking about ride anywhere, any day, right? Any day, except when it's raining or snowing or just not too pleasing to ride. So let's get back in here a little bit and we're going to see who's with us and we'll see who comes in here. But good morning to Throttle Therapy, Chuck Henson, Dean C., Ron Kelly, Paul Minimoto, Be the Rider PA, Toby Northern's back in the house, Smyrna Cowboy, good morning to you. Don't forget to hit your local dealers today and sign up for a chance to win and attend the 120th party in Milwaukee. And you just might see Be the Rider PA there because he is going to be there. Be the Rider PA has actually been announced by Harley Davidson as an ambassador for the 120th Milwaukee meetup. So he will be speaking on stage a couple times. You'll see him. You'll get to greet him, shake his hand, meet him, and he may even have some autographed pictures he may be giving out. And that was my idea. So I think he got those done. He's going to hand autograph those and give those out at the 120th. So remember, you heard it here first. Be the Rider PA is an ambassador for the 120th Milwaukee Harley Davidson anniversary meetup. So that's going to be pretty neat. All right. So good morning to Chuck Henson. Toby Northern says yes, but you didn't have to sabotage the Saturday morning show just for the workshop. Boy, I tell you, man, that was a bad mess up there. We'll talk about it in a minute. Guns and Rides, good morning to you. Pete's 1800, thanks for the text, buddy. And you found us. We're back here live, so we had to start a new stream. Harley 103, good morning. Toby Northern says Jack, aka Harley Day Rider, aka Big, Big Windy. Laugh out loud. Be the Rider. Hey, buddy, HDR is always a great storyteller. Hey, I love stories. I love telling them. Good morning, Mr. McStash. Mr. McStash was out recently on a road trip with Blue Bike and Doyle, and Mr. McStash bought a motorcycle camper. He's moving up in the world. He's moving on up to the sky, to a deluxe camper behind his bike. Oh, I shouldn't sing, right? Sorry. I do carry a good tune in a bucket of water. Let's see. Excellent news, Smyrna Cowboy. Smyrna Cowboy. Um, Last visit to the burn doctor last week, Smyrna Cowboy, man. We prayed for you the whole way through, and I'm glad you finally got that taken all care of. And you're back. You're back to Smyrna. That's so important. WS Keys on 3, good morning to you. Let's see here. Who else is in here? WS Keys on 3, Peter, Toby Northern. Okay. So the crowd is finding us, and so what happens is when a stream dies, okay, when a live stream dies, like it did obviously on me this morning, you guys noticed that I had a lot of delay in my system. Now, guys, I have a 100 megabyte internet circuit at my house, all right? But there's variations that can happen with your internet. You have to every now and then take my advice. I should have did it, but take my advice. Every now and then you have to restart or reboot your wireless access modem, okay? Wherever your wireless access is. I also like to reboot every now and then my fiber optic modem, which is in my basement. Because what happens is that stuff has what's called a cache in it. Okay, so it builds up a lot of data in there. Well, there's only very little bit of memory. And over time, it will start to chew up that memory to the point where it can't take anything. And when you're live streaming, you're pounding that memory, man. I am sending 1080p video signal through a 4K connection to my computer. I'm also sending full audio, right, through a USB connector into that same computer. And I'm pushing all that into my wireless modem, and then it goes out to my fiber optic modem, and it goes out to the internet. So that is a lot of data it's pushing. And I know for a fact I should never have a delay on these streams, right? Right now I'm streaming. I can see right now it's streaming at what is the baud rate going out here? I don't know. I can't see it. Um, Activity, stream health. I can actually click on this. Hope it doesn't do anything. It shouldn't. The stream health is excellent. So stream settings, everything is running absolutely fine. Then I have the analytics, and everything is actually pushing and doing a great job there. So I know deep down that I should not have that delay, and I was seeing it. As soon as I start seeing it, you guys start seeing it. So what happens is, as soon as I go to OBS, which is a streaming software I use on my computer, and I click stop stream, well, as far as YouTube's concerned, that stream is over. You can't go back in and reinitiate it, and that's what happened. So I was able to go back into YouTube Studio, set up a new stream, but copy the same contents from the previous stream, and that's why now you'll see two Coffee with HDRs number 115, because the first one was a flop. The second one I was able to pull back into OBS, reinitiate it, and start to stream back up. So when this stuff happens to you, if you're streaming, and this show is so important, not only to me, but to everybody in this chat room that's chatting every Saturday morning, talking to each other. I knew that I had to reinitiate it quickly and get it back up and working, right? That's my responsibility to all of you out there, because we're so used to doing this. I didn't want to just, oh, well, the computer screwed up. Okay, I'll just go have breakfast. That's not me, right? I'm very residual with that. I got to get it working very quickly. Well, if anybody ever had an Apple, a Mac computer, if it has an update to do, it's going to take a little time. And guys, I was forced. I even turned it off in the middle of an update. Never do that, but I tried it. So, good morning, Bill T. Good to have you in there. Well, Wind Road Therapy's on board with us this morning. Toby Northern, Bob Nelson. Just going down through here. Glenn Randell, good morning. Little hiccup this morning. There was a little hiccup, and that's what I was just kind of explaining out there for sure to everybody. Good morning, Judy. Let's see here. Throttle therapy. It started raining. Captain Ed, good morning. Happy you're back. I'm happy you guys found me, came back. Rocky KM, good morning. Bronco Ride, morning to you. Money 7855, good morning, DA Bishop. Got a lot of great folks in there every Saturday morning, and that's what I said. That's my responsibility, is to have this stream up and running. Brian Richards, good morning. Adam Sandoval's Great American Convoy is coming to Ohio in June. Great ride and a great cruise, and we are coming to Ohio. Brian, myself, and Be the Rider PA have already talked. We're coming to Ohio. I think it's Adventure Harley Davidson, the day that Adam is coming. And we're going to ride with Adam Sandoval in the convoy from there to Washington, PA, to Steel City Harley Davidson. So, rain or shine, we're going to be there, because we don't want to miss that. All right. And I'm sure we're probably not going to even get near Adam Sandoval to say hello, shake his hand, maybe. But the big thing is getting to ride in that convoy. I think it's going to be awesome. So if you're there, Brian, by all means, look us up. myself and Be the Rider PA. I will probably have, if it's not too hot, my sweatshirt on, my Harley Day Rider sweatshirt. So I should be easy to spot. There's big red letters on the back of it. You should be able to find me pretty quickly, right? Or I'll be the guy with the 16 cameras and the drone flying above, right? That'll be me. So I hope to see you there. Be the Rider PA about to head to the truck, off to coffee at Sheets, and then he has to go off to sell more Harley Davidson motorcycles. Be the Rider PA. So, but yes, that's what we will be doing. We already have that in the plans. Um, Planning to make that same leg. Ron Kelly said, Ron, that would be great, man. We're gonna have a nice little meetup just from this chat room to ride in the convoy, man. That's gonna be a great thing, right? Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get there and be able to get our bikes kind of together, and we can ride together in that convoy, and that would be awesome. So, um, but see, he will be at my local dealer on May 1st. Hopefully, be able to ride from Warhorse to Gainesville. Pete, that would be awesome for sure. Definitely get out there and ride if you can do it. Um, so I think it's going to be fun. I mean, it's, I guess it may even be earth shattering, right? Could be earth shattering. Maybe. Chuck Hessen says, how many are going with you to the great adventure this summer? Pete's 1800. Oh, talking about his big adventure coming up. HAV Traveler, Adam should have honor of meeting the godfather of motorcycle YouTubers. I don't know if I'm the godfather of YouTubers. I'm just the old guy that films on a motorcycle, but um, you but I appreciate that HDAB Traveler. I do. That somewhat some kind of recognition, right? We all like a pat on the back every now and then. It makes you feel good, right? Just gives you that warm feeling inside, like drinking hot cocoa or hot cider on a cold morning, right? So, Ron Kelly, good morning to you. And Therapy. Road Glide Andy's back in there. Good morning, Road Glide Andy. Glad you found a new stream that I had to put up there. Road Glide Andy said, thanks for the invite. I didn't invite anybody. I was invited, Road Glide Andy. So, um, but I'm sure if you're off that, I don't know if it's on a, I think it's a weekday, Road Glide Andy. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there on a weekday. Maybe that's why Jim said that. But if you can get off work, by all means, you can go with us for sure. I mean, hey, the more the merrier, man. When you're riding in a convoy, the more people you have, the more fun it is, right? And I'm thinking we're going to have like 200-300 motorcycles going from Adventure Harley Davidson, which is actually in New Philadelphia, Ohio. That's where we'll be going. We'll be meeting up or riding out to New Philadelphia, Ohio. And then from there, once everything gets together and he gets all of his photos done and, this and that, then we'll be riding the convoy to Washington, Pennsylvania to Steel City Harley Davidson. That's pretty much where we'll end. Unless he goes over into West Virginia to Triple S Harley Davidson, then maybe we'll just tag along to go there too. Make a full day of it, full day run. So could be fun. Well, no, it will be fun. I just really hope for good weather, But like I said, rain or shine, if he's coming, we're going. So we got wet weather gear. That's what it was made for. Anyway, yeah, okay. So Be the Rider PA did say that it is a weekday, Road Glide Andy. So if you could take off the day, I think maybe you'll be sick that day. Just call the boss, but I can't make it in that day. Take a sick day, right? What's more important? Going to work and making money or riding your Harley Davidson motorcycle in the Adam Sandoval convoy. So you can go to work and make money, which you can do any day of the week, or you can ride in a convoy, which you're going to do once in your lifetime. So I'll pick convoy. Bronco, are you having fun yet? Hopefully Bronco Ride. We haven't heard from Bronco Ride. It's funny, like we have this group text thing and he hasn't been saying a peep. I hope he found a house. We don't know if he found a house yet, so maybe he can throw that in the chat room. And I know his house in Maryland is pretty much sold. So we do know that, but that's about the last word we had. We're waiting for some new videos to come to life from Bronco Ride on the mountains of Tennessee. Yeah, you dog, now you can ride all year long, and that's just awesome, man. And if you're going to move somewhere, move south where you can ride every day, all year. That's just a good idea. That's just a plain good idea to do that. But don't move north. Like, don't move to like Maine or somewhere. That would be silly, right? Get all that snow and cold weather. Of course, you can move to the state of California right now and be stuck in the snow. They had like 4 or 5 feet of snow in California with no plows. Because when does California get snow? Like, never. But anyway, Mr. McStash, he will now have to change his logo. Oh, you're right. He has to change his logo and put a new state up there. Be the Rider PA said, check out the link for stops. Be the Rider PA, if you want to put that link in the chat room, you're more than free to do so, my friend, for all the different stops that Adam will be making. Bronco rides a couple of beautiful days just recently. Motor Rambling. Motor Rambling, I think, lives in Tennessee, so he's pretty close to him. Somewhere where you can hear. Living somewhere you can. Year is nice. You can ride all year is nice. You're right. That's a very nice thing. But I look at it the other way too, guys. I mean, I'm a realist. I've always said that. And I look at it the other way, right? If I ride somewhere where I could ride all year long, I'd have to buy a new bike like every 3 years because the mileage would be like 150,000 miles on it, right? The way it is now, and I get to put it away for 6 months, the bike gets a much needed rest. I get to do time for upgrades on the motorcycles, maintenance on the motorcycles, maybe give them a good detailed cleaning, and keep the mileage low on my bikes because they last longer, right? So many of you guys know I kicked around the idea, and Be the Rider PA calls me every other day with a new motorcycle idea from Valley Harley Davidson. We got this new bike in HDR. You should come down here and buy it. We got 1.99% financing for 20 months, and you can buy this motorcycle for $300 a month. And guys, and I kicked that around a lot, man. I thought, man, I need the latest and greatest motorcycle. I need the best out there. Do I? Do I really need the latest and greatest motorcycle? Do you need the latest and greatest motorcycle? If you watch Saddle Tramp, and I love watching Saddle Tramp, he had a newer um, Heritage, right? And it had the like 107 engine in it or 114 engine, whatever. It was like new, right? He actually got on to Craigslist. He found a guy that had an older Evo Heritage, and he traded him straight up, because he didn't want the newest and the greatest. He wanted the Harley Davidsons that you could still work on, take a wrench to them, right? Tear them down and rebuild them and fix them. So, do you really need, and I like to hear from you in the chat room, and I'll try to go through these and catch these as you're going through here. Do you really need the latest and greatest motorcycle, right? Is it something you need? Some people out there buy a brand new car every 2 years because they want the latest, greatest car. My daughter's like that. My daughter calls and she wants, a newer car. Well, she says bigger now, and I get that. She needs a little bit bigger car maybe, but it's just basically her and her son, right? Her and my grandson. But maybe you want a bigger car for more room in it. That's cool. I get it. But as far as buying a new car, it's like, oh, now it's got electric windows. It's got heated seats, heated steering wheel, backup cameras, front cameras. Hell, it even parks itself, right? It parallel parks itself because people can't seem to learn how to parallel park. I don't get that, right? I used to do it in a big ambulance and whoop, zip it right in there. So maybe you don't. My mother used to always say the more things you put on the cars, the more things it's going to break down. And she said electric stuff is the worst, right? Electric's going to go before anything else. So as I'm going through this here, much better being able to ride all year, Motor Rambling said. I think I would like the option to ride all year. You know what I mean? I would like the at least the availability to just say, should I take the motorcycle today? Yeah, let's take the bike. I would love to do that. I think that's very important. But on the other hand, like I said, there's pros and cons, right? To both. I don't know really what the cons are. It would definitely be a pro. It would definitely be a pro. The best motorcycle I have is the one I'm on, Bob Nelson said. That's a good point, Bob. I love that statement. Um, I would love a new bike, but I sure don't need one. My 16 Roadmaster runs perfectly, Chuck says. Mr. McSesh says, I love my Ultra Classy and her 75,000 miles on her. She pulls the camper like nothing. And I love Ultra Classy too. That was the first time I met you. You pointed out on your front fender that you changed the lettering, and now the bike is called Ultra Classy, and I love that. I don't mind. I don't. Mine is an '05 Ultra, Throttle Therapy said. People can turn on their lights and flashers. Money 7855 has a comment. Riding a motorcycle is how it makes you feel when you're on the road. Having the latest and greatest doesn't change that. Roglad Andy said the new Harleys are going to have an electric windshield. Well, that's okay. And that's one of my pet peeves about Harleys, but that's all right. I don't need it. Uh, let's see. Motor Rambling said my bikes are both more than a decade old and both work, and they're both very comfortable. We need to spend more. We don't need to spend more money. Good point. I like that for sure. WS Keys on three. Anybody ever think Harley? Anybody ever think Harley will ever get into leasing? Nope, absolutely not. They will never lease. I've asked that question multiple times at the dealers, and that's just not in their wheelhouse. They're not going to lease a motorcycle, and I believe it's probably, and I don't understand why, but I believe it's because it's too easy to total them and wreck them, and somebody get hurt on them. And I know you can buy insurance and renters insurance, but yeah, I don't think they're ever going to lease motorcycles. I leased a truck before, and I would never lease anything again the rest of my life. It's not for me. That's for sure. Toby Northern said, already time for a mid-show commercial. You need to slow down. You need to slow time down. Yeah, I know. Well, I had to restart. I had to reinitiate. All right. Well, hold on 1 second. Let's do this. Let's hear from our commercial man.
Hello, my friends. Goofy Bastard here, and you're watching Coffee with HDR. Enjoy the show.
All right. There he was, my man Goofy Bastard, giving you a little intro break or a little mid break, station identification. Let's see. Is taking a motorcycle an option? I don't know what that means, Paul. I don't get that one, but HGA is very true. Throttle therapy. Mr. McSash, just tell them Patrick. Patrick. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Goofy Bastard. GM, HDR, and friends. Good morning, Bodine52. Nice to have you on board there this morning.
40. 52 is a weekly American comic book limited series published by DC Comics.
What the heck?
Debuted on May 10th, 2006. 1 week after the.
You guys heard that? That came from Siri across my computer. Oy. Bronco Ride says, morning to Bob. Bob Nelson. James. Okay. Pete's 1800. Well, I like new bikes. There isn't one that I want to ride right now. I need to see one before I get another. Now, I can tell you, I just signed up for 2 demo rides today. So, well, not today, but they're coming up in May. One's going to be BMW motorcycles, which I've always wanted to try to ride a BMW motorcycle and see what it's all about, and Triumph motorcycles. So I wanted to see what Triumph is about. So 2 different demos coming, and the place is about an hour from my house, so it's not a bad trip at all to get there, and just to enjoy a day of riding those 2 different motorcycles, BMW and Triumphs. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Throttle Service said, never a dull moment here. Yeah, did you hear that over there? Did you hear Siri actually talking? But anyway. Let's get through some of these. Money. Careful. If you ride the BMW, we'll fall in love with it. Money 7855. The only thing I didn't like about the BMW motorcycles when I see them is that big engine sticking out of it, right? It kind of looks like a car engine they shoved into a motorcycle frame. But I bet you it has a lot of power, and everybody that buys a BMW loves them. So, it's just something I want to try. I told everybody, and you guys know, yes, my channel is Harley Day Rider, right? It always will be Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR, out here on his lovely 2018 Road Glide Ultra, right? But I'm not a brand snob. I will ride any motorcycle out there, and if you fall in love with it, then maybe it's time to be, I don't know, BMW rider. I don't know. But I'm not looking to buy anything right now either, because that's what we're just talking about. Do you need the latest and greatest motorcycle? Is there a reason to have the latest and greatest motorcycle? Now, I may or may not have told you this story, and I think I did. Years ago, when I first joined the West Virginia Hog chapter, okay, the West Virginia Hog chapter, I had my 2011 Ultra Classic, 2011 Electric Glide Classic. And we went on a group ride. Okay, went on a nice group ride. And that bike had a 96 cubic inch engine, right? Had a stage one done on it, full stage one, replaced the header pipe. It ran like a bat out of hell. I liked the motorcycle. All right. I wasn't too fond of the black because it was always dirty and it always got scratched up. But I did like the motorcycle, and it was relatively close to being, well, not close to being paid off, but I would have paid it off a lot quicker than a 2018. Anyhow, so I go on this chapter ride with the group. Now, this is what group riding is not good for. I go on a chapter ride, and I park next to this guy, and I still remember, and the guy's not a friend, but a pretty good acquaintance. If we go on rides, we'll ride together. If we go on group rides, and we'll go and sit down and have a couple of beers together. He's a great person. Even my wife actually likes this guy. He's a really nice guy. So to get to the point, right? Get to the point, HDR, right? Bob said, focus. Okay. So I park my bike next to his, and I never met this guy ever before this day, right? So I shake his hand and say, yeah, how you doing? I'm HDR. And he said, I'm BDR or whatever, or GDB or whatever his name was. And he looks at my motorcycle, and he looks at the dash. He goes, wow, this must be a really old motorcycle. I said, well, what do you mean? But I just bought it. It's a 2011, and this was probably in 2017, maybe 2018. Probably closer to 18. He goes, well, look, that's a very old radio. That's old technology, man. Wow. And I came home and I was so devastated. I didn't want to ride with the Hog chapter anymore. I didn't want anybody seeing my bike because I didn't have the latest and greatest, right? I want to fit in. I want to be like everybody else and fit in and have the best motorcycle and have the fastest motorcycle and have the best stereo system and the loudest speakers on my bike, right? But guys, there's a lot of you out there just like me, right? We are, not that we're cheap, not that we're actually poor, but we are price conscientious, right? We don't want to spend all that money on a motorcycle that's parked in the garage 6 months out of the year and it's doing nothing, right? So what I did next was probably one of the stupidest things I could have ever did in my entire life. I talked Mrs. HDR into getting rid of that 2011, which took us all the way out to South Dakota. She loved that motorcycle, right? She called it Black Beauty. It took us a lot of places. We went on a lot of vacations on that motorcycle. And she said, you're going to trade Black Beauty? And I'm like, well, yeah, because I want to get a new, latest, greatest. I want the nice new boom system on my bike and GPS and all this bells and whistles, right? That mounts to zero, okay? They mount to zero. But anyway. So at the end of the day, I did. I went out and I bought the 2018 Road Glide Ultra, okay? At the end of the year, never buy a motorcycle at the end of the year. Never let these Harley dealers talk you into something that you know deep down in your head you shouldn't do. Never buy a year-end model. Okay, don't do it. Oh, they're not going to change much. There's nothing going to be really different on the new ones. And, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to look just like this Road Glide, And, guys, not only did they change it, they won. They put a bigger engine in the 2019. 2, they put a brand new boombox system in the 2019 that now if I want it, they want $1,800. Yep, $1,800 for a new boom system. Really, Harley? I bought your motorcycle at the end of the season. Give me one for $500, right? I don't know. It's not worth $1,800 for a new boom system. Third thing. Okay? They did that. They put a new engine in it. And they changed the freaking name, right? Now people are driving a Road Glide Limited. And I got an old piece of shit, right? Road Glide Ultra. Or Road Glide, you know what I mean. So So now, even now today, I got a 2018. I ride with some people, and I'm riding with the pack, and it's like, yeah, I got the oldest bike again, right? So, do you need the latest and greatest? If you're going to ride in groups, absolutely. Buy a brand new motorcycle every year, right? Keep up on it. Buy it every single year. Because I really feel if you want to fit in, you got to be able to have the same thing everybody else has. Is that right? That's not right, right? So anyway, so I'm just trying to read down through. My bike is now 6 years old, and I still love it. Ricky KM says, Ricky, that's the kind of comments I like to see, brother. Buy a new bike and add a bunch of accessories, or just stage it up, and then do what? Trade it off, right? You would not believe, Be the Rider PA calls me weekly, how people build the bike up. They put all the stage kits on it, right? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. They put all the LED lighting on it. They put, new pipes on it. They do all this cool stuff to it. They build the engines out. They put new bars on it. They put new seats on it. He said, then they come and trade them off that way. Here you go. And the dealers are like, oh, damn, I'll give you book value for that. Yep, it's a 2016, so I'm going to give you $9,000. And the guy's thinking in his head, I got $14,000 to $20,000 worth of upgrades. And the guy goes, yeah, I don't care. It's Kelly Blue Book. That's what you get. And the guy says, okay, no problem. And he buys a new one. And he starts all over again, right? It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing that we get into, us motorcycle riders. But Pete said, I'm not getting revved up. I'm just kind of laying the ground rules out there to everybody in case you didn't know them, right? And I don't know if maybe it's everything. Maybe it's every possible thing in the world that you can get into, but I don't know. I don't know. Does Jeep clubs, there's clubs out there that people drive Jeeps. Do they all have to have a new Jeep every year? Maybe. I don't know. So let's see here. What else is, I wouldn't buy a new motorcycle. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now, so what is HDR trying to say, Paul? Well, what I'm trying to say is, one, don't ride in groups with other motorcyclists if you feel like you are anything less than them. Okay, one. Two, if somebody tells your motorcycle's old, punch them in the head, kick them on the shin, whatever. Push their motorcycle over and tell them, nah, your motorcycle's dented. But I don't know. Anyway, back to the 2018. So the 2018 Road Glide Ultra has been a good bike, right? I did the suspension. I'm doing the front suspension. I'm doing I'm falling into the stage upgrades, right? I'm going to be doing a stage upgrade on it, just because I want to get rid of the head pipe, man. The head pipe, and the 107s are nice because they don't dispute as much heat as the 96 cubic inch, but they do distribute some heat. And I want to get rid of the catalytic converter. So we don't need it in Pennsylvania, so I'm going to ditch it. But the thing is, remember, we bought that bike. The one big push for me to buy that motorcycle was a GPS. And Harley, believe it or not, Harley in all their lovely wisdom and all their lovely, glorious money that I just watched the thing the other day that said Harley's going bankrupt. They're going to file for bankruptcy within the next 2 years. You didn't hear that from me. That was a YouTube video. So anyway. So if you look at all that put together, right, and you think about this for a minute, it's like, in all their wisdom, they sell you a motorcycle with a GPS in it. And guys, the maps for my bike for a 2018 is $150 for the new maps. The latest maps they made for the old boom boxes was in 2020. Now, you'll think that's not too old, HDR. It's 3 years. I get that. But if I'm paying for $150, I want them to update the maps every year. But now, if you wanted to buy maps for the new Boom XPS system or whatever they're calling the new one, those maps are current. They're 2023. You see what Harley's doing? They're saying, hey, map company, whoever builds these maps, stop the old maps. Because if the people want new maps on their bikes, they're going to have to either A, buy the new Boom system, or B, buy a new motorcycle. Harley's not stupid. They're going to get your money. Okay, that's for sure. India's GPS is really great, Ricky KM said. And I've heard that, Ricky. I've heard Indian GPSs are fabulous, man. Fantastic. Not only that, they have built-in weather overlay. If you want weather overlay on your Harley Davidson maps, yeah, You got to buy the satellite radio modular and pay for the satellite radio if you want weather overlays, which weather overlays when you're doing a trip is so important. Myself and Miss HDR has found that so many times. And on mine, obviously, it doesn't have it, right? It's still like, it's like monochrome, it's like, I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you that my 2018 GPS does not work because it has taken us to some fantastic locations. But to get weather overlays, I can put my phone up on the handlebar and look at the weather maps to see where the weather's coming in at. So, um, Indians should sponsor you for the royalty. Love it. Yeah, Ricky, you're right. That would be good, Bob, if they would sponsor Ricky. Oh, crap. I'll pick a rant days show up. The real Jackie boy. Good morning. Jackie boy, I'm not really ranting. I'm just basically giving everybody the rundown of, should you buy. And Jackie boys will tell you too. I know he doesn't buy a new motorcycle every year. He doesn't. He just doesn't do that. So, you know, I know a lot of you will say, HDR, shut your mouth. You just bought, the Royal Enfield Himalayan. You bought it new. Yeah, I did. I did. The only thing I can say about, and I don't know what you guys feel about buying new or buying used. I mean, buying used, you do save from all the shipping charges, the royalty fees, the prep charges, the blah, 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 blah. Oh, we took it off a pallet. That's $500. We put oil in it because you have to have oil in the motorcycle. That's, $500. We wipe the dust off, $400. You know what I mean? When you buy new. So when you buy used, you do get away from those costs. But buying new and buying used, guys, I don't know how you feel. Like, I just told my daughter, the car I'm driving right now was Mrs. HDR's car. We had it paid off, and she wanted a brand new Honda CRV, okay? Because she does that every 4 years, 3 to 4 years. She just likes a new car, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We've earned that right because we're very old people. We've both had professional jobs our whole life. So we've earned that right where she should be able to have a new car if she feels the need for that. I don't care. But being the 2016 CRV was paid off, I kept that. But I told my daughter, one thing I know about our CRVs is we were both the only owners of those cars because we bought both of those brand new. So I feel confident. I know when the oil changes are done, when I grease the car, when I change the brakes. I know the history of that car because we're the only ones that owned it. Same with the motorcycles. If you buy it brand new, you know the history. It wasn't beat up. It wasn't dropped. Because, guys, if you see a motorcycle and the first thing it says when you advertise it's never been dropped, it's been dropped, okay? The guy or the girl is clearly telling you the motorcycle's been dropped. So maybe no dents, but it's been dropped. So Mr. McSash's famous last words. Be the rider, PA. I have this true. You can up the day and... up boom of your XM. Yeah, because Be the Rider PA did that. He put the XM module in to get the weather overlays. Are those fees? Yes, there are fees. There's monthly fees to XM radio. And you have to put the module, it's a plug-in unit that goes on the back of the boom system. Good morning, Austin Spiker. Nice to have you in there. Nothing wrong with wanting a new bike, Paul says. No, you're right. There's nothing wrong with wanting. My dad once told me, he said, I wish I could earn enough money or I wish I could hit the lottery so I never want for anything. And I said, Dad, you know what? And I was a young man then. I was a young chap. And I said, Dad, you know what? If you really think about that statement, if you don't want for anything, then you're probably dead, right? You're probably laying in the ground because... if you go through life not wanting, if you have everything you've ever desired, right? Is life really worth living? What's next to capture? So, right, there's nothing wrong with wanting a new bike. I mean, I look at the deep downside of it, just don't need one, right? I don't need another Harley touring motorcycle. I mean, I like the one I have, and I'm going to do some upgrades on it and keep it around. You guys know, I've been telling you for months, a few more payments, and that baby's mine. So... and that's going to be a good feeling, right? Not having to drop that money every month on a motorcycle payment. Of course, then I already got plans of tripling up. I'm going to triple up the Himalayan payments. Now, if you never purchased a Himalayan or a Royal Enfield bike, you're talking $6,000 brand new out the door. Well, no, $7,000 out the door, tax, title, transfer fees, prep charges, all that bull malarkey. But, you could buy one of these bikes and your payments are like, $90 to $100 a month. is all the payments are on them. The insurance, full coverage insurance on my Himalayan, guys, $75 a year. $75 a year. You know, they probably figure basically it's a throwaway bike, right? It's not really well. It comes though. Now listen to this: the Royal Enfield line also comes with a free 3-year warranty, right? Full drivetrain, bumper to bumper, everything warranty for 3 years for free. They just throw that in, okay? So after 3 years, you probably do just trade it off and get another one. I mean, at that point, for all they cost. But anyway, I'm going to triple up my payments on a Royal Enfield Himalayan, and that'll be paid off in like a year. So pretty cool. Prep Freeze, gotta love him. Anonymous Biker said, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Prep fees. You know what prep fees really boil down to, guys? I just asked a company the other day. Three Rivers Harley Davidson puts out, I will follow them on Instagram. They always post their, motorcycles on there they're selling, and they got a bike that Ty has. What is it? The Road Glide ST, Road Glide RT ST. You guys know what I'm talking about. With the fairing with no stereo or GPS in it. Anyway, I looked at that bike and I said, and they post their new bikes, but you know what they don't post? The price. So I messaged him. I said, well, what's the price on the bike? I'd be interested if you told me the price. But they don't tell you the price because all the prep fees and everything is how they get you over MSRP. Right? And I know the dealer has to make money, guys. Hell, they're paying. Walk into any Harley Davidson dealer. There's like 80 people working inside there. By the time you get the garage mechanics, the sales staff, the parts guys, the 3 or 4 girls that walk around wanting to sell you a $800 T-shirt. There's a lot of people working in that dealer, right? So you buy a motorcycle, they can't just give it to you for MSRP and you'll be out the door with it. Oh, no. They got to make sure they sell it to you and make sure they're selling it above MSRP to the point where they're making enough money to pay all the staff for at least one day. Yeah, that's kind of how they work that. So that's why an oil change at the dealer costs you $400 and $500, right? And I can tell you, do it yourself in, I don't know. To do my own oil changes, it takes me getting the tools out, getting everything set up, putting the oil pan under it. It might take me to do a full 3-plug oil change, half hour, maybe half hour, And you can do a 3-plug oil change for $100, guys. Do it yourself, right? You got the tools. If you don't know how to do it, watch a YouTube video. It's very easy. $800 for a T-shirt. They were on sale, Anonymous Bikers. Yeah, you're right. They were actually on sale. How about that? That's pretty cool. Popcorn and bacon. What a better way to start the day. Bronco Ride, you have a funny breakfast plan there. 10 Wingman, good morning to you. Nice to have you in there. Glad you jumped in to say hello. Viper 6, good morning to Viper 6. Glad to have you on board there with us today. Motor Rambling, Viper 6 ditto. Bob, good ad, Paul. Looking for what Paul had to say. Oh, and Irish coffee. We have a problem here with Irish coffees here in Pennsylvania. Is you can't find any Pabst hard coffee. The company Pabst Blue Ribbon. They're coming out with all these other hard coffees with like mocha and vanilla, and you don't want flavor in your Irish coffee, right? All you want to taste is hard coffee and Jameson whiskey. That's all you want to taste for sure. So, Rogue Gladiator said, what about the 20-minute ride before the oil change? Yes, Rogue Gladiator, you're right. Always do the 20-minute ride before the oil change. So, and it's still only going to take you no longer than an hour then. But you know what? You're going for a ride, right? So what I normally do is take my bike out for a ride. I'll take it down, top it off with gas or something. That's about 20 minutes. Get the engine warmed up a little bit and then drop the plugs. So, I slipped on wet grass and dropped my bike. I fractured my vertebrae trying to pick it up. Oh, Chuck, man, I'm so sorry to hear that, buddy. We're thinking and praying about you, buddy. I hope you get well soon. Be very careful picking up these motorcycles, guys. And I tell everybody, and even when Miss HDR, my daughter, or my sister rides with me, and I don't know what you guys tell your passengers, but we have a friend that when their motorcycle was trying to fall in a gravel driveway, she put her foot down, and what happened was the rear floorboard cut her ankle in two, right? So we tell everybody, when if your bike's going to fall over, one, don't try to catch it, let it fall, right? That's what engine guards are for. I call them crash bars. Let it fall. Okay, it's not going to hurt it, but step away. And I tell my passengers that too. If it's falling to the left, put your left foot way away from the bike and step away. Don't try to catch it. We're going to just let it fall on the ground. It's fine. Guys, my Harley is 900 pounds, right? On its own. When it's loaded down, you're talking easy 1,200-pound motorcycle. I'm not holding it up, right? And I'm not going to hurt myself. And so, Chuck, I'm sorry that happened to you, but, if it ever happened, call a tow truck, call a buddy, leave it later for a little bit. It's not going to hurt it to lay there. Let it take a rest, right? So, and I know we all right away want to grab our bikes and pick them back up. Or, not me, man. Not me. I'm not going to get hurt over a motorcycle. Minimoto says, I gave that shirt away. I did get some HD riding sneakers. Guess that would be a cool aid. Minimoto, how do you ride a Pan America with sneakers? Come on, brother. Those two equations don't even fit together. And I know, because I watch your videos, you got a Pan America. Put some boots on, brother. There's no such thing as riding sneakers. They don't go together. You might as well have riding flip-flops, riding sandals, riding in my socks, riding in my bare feet with my bathing suit on. No. Do I ever ride with tennis shoes on? Yeah, I do when I go to work. So, because I work in tennis shoes. But, boy, there's a bogus call right there. So, how about now that caller IDs are coming with people's names? Like, that guy's not even in my list. I don't even know where he's from. But anyway. So anyhow, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. When you picking up the oil, Be the Rider PA says, well, when I had the bike out the other day, I have 28,000 miles. So I got like a couple thousand miles before I hit the 30,000 mile oil change. So, but I'll be picking the oil up. I'll be letting you know there for sure. Guys, if you need M's oil, get a hold of Be the Rider PA. He'll gladly ship it to your house. He'll bring it to your house, no matter where you live. He'll give you a good price on it. And, he doesn't have the oil filters. I buy my filter at the Harley shop because I'm a chrome guy. What can I say? I don't want a black filter on a chrome bike. Just not me. So, but what can you do? Real Jackie Boy says, it's always better to have an oil at temp before you change it. The hotter the oil, the thinner it is, the more fun it is to try to get the oil plug out without burning your hands. Yeah, you're right. And I got that big oil pan now, real big square one. So you can take the bolt out and just like let it drop. You don't have to try to grab it anymore. And then once the oil drains out of the pan, then just my bolt's laying there, I can clean it off and get all the sludge off of it. So let's see, that was Jackie Boy. I got a spam call from Jack's Rides all the time. It's funny that Jack's Rides, you know what that is? I seen the thing this morning. Somebody posted on, I don't know who it was. They said, please tell my motorcycle to quit texting me. I thought that was hilarious. Maybe my bike is texting you guys. I don't know. Buy the 3-hole kit from Arms. It's cheaper, and you get a filter. I don't know. I get my oil pretty cheap, Road Glide Andy. Do you take the used oil to your local dealer to dispose it? I do not. I actually take my oil to the school I work at to dispose it because we have a auto shop program there. And when I take the oil there, they sell it to these companies. They put it in big drums and they sell it to this company. And then the auto shop classroom makes money that way for like their Christmas party or their end of year party. So that's where I take mine. I give it to them and then they sell it and get some money back for it. So there you go. Ricky Camp said, when is the next fireside chat? We don't know. So we haven't discussed it. Bronco Ride, if you don't know, he moved. He's trying to find a house. And a lot of houses he looked at don't have internet service. So it wouldn't be a very good show if we couldn't get, Bronco Ride to get on with internet service. So he's looking at homes in Tennessee. They're so far in the mountains. They can't string cables up there, so I'm just kidding. No, it'll be back someday. I mean, we'll never be back to the. I don't think we'll ever be back to the weekly schedule because we're all three of us are just so busy in life now that there's just no way we could pull it off. But maybe once monthly, maybe bi-monthly, just to get together and have a chit chat. That might be fun. So I'm sure it will be. Uh, Maybe we'll do one when we're in Ohio. Uh, maybe I'll take some streaming gear with me, and we'll do one out of the house in Ohio. If there's good internet, maybe we can get to a fireside chat and have the other folks in the house with us join us. So I think that would be fun. But so anyway, I am going to get off of here and take off for the day. I don't think I'll be riding, man, because it's just going to rain all day. It's cloudy here. It's been raining all week. It's been kind of bad for us. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, though. So maybe I'll get a chance to get out tomorrow and get on the bike. And that will be really, really nice to do that. So, guys, I hope everybody has a great, great week, man. Thanks for hanging in there with me this morning and finding the second stream. And sorry about the mishap, but that's technology, right? You got to flow with it because it will crush you if you don't, and it'll just be a pain in your side. So you just have to step back, reevaluate, and restream, right? And there we go. So thanks for joining me here. As always, the chat room, you guys are great. You guys are what makes this show. And I will talk to everybody next week. Until then, remember, I always tell you, Roger and ride. Be safe out there. Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR, will be down out in the beautiful HDR studio here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Goodbye, everybody. Take care and ride safe.